What's going on, everybody? Darth Revan lightsaber, ready to rock and roll. All right, let me set this puppy up. Sorry, we got high-tech tripods here. So, first and foremost, I wanted to thank everybody for jumping on board for the journey. I wanted to go through some of the comments from the last video of recommendations, because maybe there's some stuff in there for somebody out there who doesn't read the comments who might be interested in these kinds of books. We have Red Sphere by Michael Crichton. It might be Reed Sphere. He also recommended Replay by, hold on, Ken Grimwood. And then we got Andrew Clavin being recommended by an I. Samwise, obviously some Black Company, some Malazan books. Oh wow, some Star Wars books. Obviously the Revenge of the Sith, the novelization of it. Just some great recommendations in the comments from you guys, which I love getting. There was, what is this one? Hold on. Not Pillars of the Earth. Wolf Hall. Wolf Hall was another one. Wolf Hall. I'm saying that hopefully correct. I would love to go through all of them because, again, I'm grateful you guys talk to me at all about this stuff because I love books. I love reading, love writing. And I'm very happy to have you guys along this journey with me. I'm going to do my weekly update, and we'll start with my reading because I finished on my trip, finished Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Absolutely loved this book. The emotional notes that Robin Hobb is able to hit, seeing through the eyes of just a 6-year-old bastard growing up in kind of a very unfamiliar territory because, I mean, he's a child growing into manhood. And by the end of the book, you see him as a late teenager, just all of his mentors, and I suspect that there's some plotting there that makes me highly interested in this book. The animal, his connections with dogs in general. Just what a fascinating book. And I highly recommend it if you're into fantasy, if you like low magic. This magic system is very related to empathy, and it's very soft. Rules just haven't quite been defined yet, which is fine. I prefer my magic system soft in general, which, I mean, you'll see as we go. And then I read up to, on Tales of the Sun Eater, I read up to the final short story in volume 3 because I read the title of it and the little description, and it kind of spoiled it for me. We have that here. I don't want to show you guys that. Okay, yeah, we have the Tales of this, this blank white. There we go. Tales of the Sun Eater, volume 3. Every short story in here was a great hit. The last one, I was so mad. I haven't read Disquiet Gods yet, and I'm reading that probably in the next few months. And I kind of spoiled something for myself, which is fine. You know, it's one thing I kind of like put together myself. It just got it confirmed, and I was like, all right. Well, point was, it was excellent. I'm saving that short story until I'm done with Disquiet Gods. I might read Dregs of Empire before I read Disquiet Gods, just to get it out of the way and stay in the world of the Sun Eater over the next 2 months. I also have read, where'd it go? Right here. A Fire in His Hands, the first book of the Chronicles of the Dread Empire. This is the prequel part, so I'm actually starting at book 4, which is a prequel from books 1 to 3. I'm not done with the book yet. I still have like about 100 pages left of the Dread Empire first book. You can see the similarities of where Steven Erikson got a lot of his inspiration. This was introed by Steven Erikson. And there's mention of the whirlwind. There's some characters being, prophesized. Is it real? Is it fake? The writing is it's kind of what I expected, and it's good. Steven Erikson just emboldens this type of writing to its nth degree. Like he maximizes it. Not to say that this isn't great. It's easy to follow, but I see the hard parts that it would be hard to follow, if I said that correctly. So currently, those are my reads right now. I finished also, where'd I put it? Riven Earth by Zammar Ahmer. Now, in the next 2 months, I'm finishing Sundered Moon, the second book in this duology by Zammar Ahmer. And this is Riven Earth. This is independently published. It's grimdark. It stands with the greats. The writing is beautiful, and the characters are very compelling. The world is very compelling. It almost is a character in and of itself. Myself and Iskandria will be doing a discussion of this duology with hopefully the author. If he's watching this, great. I just need to get your info so we can iron that out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to talking about this book with probably a little non-spoiler, little spoiler, just to try and dig into the mind of the masterwork that this is. This was awesome. This was a great read. Very stoked about picking up the second part of the duology where this one left off. And again, I highly recommend. It's on Kindle Unlimited. If you have access to that, I just pick it up however you can. This was an awesome read. I finished that side by side, Assassin's Apprentice, and I'm happy I did. I'm happy I did because it was a phenomenal read. I can't wait to get into Sundered Moon. I'll also talk about Empire the Vampire. Haven't made much progress here. This is my read with my girlfriend, and we are reading this very slow, is the best way I'll say it. Very slowly. For no reason other than she's a slow reader, but that's fine. It sometimes, it just takes time to get into a story, and but we love this book. I love this book so far. I love the voice that we get of the character. I love the narrative and how it's being framed. I love the world that's being painted by Jay Kristoff. It's a fantastic book. And then I will be finishing Berserk, this leather-bound volume 2. Yes, by next week, and I'll report to you guys where I'm at with this. I might pick up volume 3 next month. I might just hold off till next month. So by the end of next week, that'll be like 2 weeks away. But yeah, I'm going to pick up volume 3 because I'm loving Berserk so far. It's my first experience with manga. If you're here for manga, please leave your recommendations down below. I've heard of Vagabond. I've heard of Vinland Saga. I watched the first 2 seasons on Netflix of that, and I don't know if the manga's worth getting into. I've heard mixed things. From people like Tom Orange over at Tom Orange and people in the comments. So let me know what you guys think about that as far as manga is concerned. A couple of book pickups. A book pickup. I picked up Mercy of the Gods by James S.A. Corey. I have not read The Expanse, not a single book from The Expanse. That said, this is the start of a new trilogy, and I'm kind of excited to get into it. It's a new release, and I probably don't need to promote it any more than it's already been promoted. That said, I haven't read it yet. I've never read James S.A. Corey. I've never read the duo, anything that they've written. So this will be my first experience with them. But first, I will be reading The Failures by Benjamin Lyer as my next physical read. And I will probably be reading the side-by-side Malazin's Midnight Tides. So that was what I have read, what I was reading, what I am currently reading, and then what I am going to read next. So as I finish up Dread Empire here, I'll be getting into The Failures by Benjamin Lyer and the Malazan book, Midnight Tides, which I'm really stoked for. I'm also kind of diving into All the Pretty Horses with Vera, which I'm going to put her channel down below. She's spoiled that I guess she's picking up some Cormac McCarthy books. I'd love to read whatever John from Talking Stories getting into on the Patreon next month. I'll also put down Escandria and aka Combat Robo Guys channel in the description as well, so you guys can check him out, check his videos out. For our discussion of Zammar will likely be, God, I hope I'm saying that right, will likely be on Escandria's channel. So I want you guys to check that out. And then also I'm listening to Forgetting Moon still. I'm about 60% of the way through. I didn't do much listening on audio this past weekend. Just simply, we were in the Midwest and at the Iowa State Fair, just walking around. I didn't really have a lot of time to listen to audiobooks. Whether it sounds counterintuitive, it sounds like I did. So anyways, guys, that was all reading that was done over the last couple weeks. Now that I'm probably going to be doing my filming of these videos on Wednesdays, and then uploading them, setting them up, and having them premiere on Fridays, just so you guys can comment on the premiere if you'd like, and we can chat more about the books in the meantime up until the video's up, and then we can talk in the comments below about what your favorite books are. I think you guys thumbs upping that my top 10 video really helped in terms of, getting more traffic and getting people to, talk about books. It was really great getting all these recommendations of books I've never heard of. It was so cool just seeing kind of the discussion that was being brought up simply by you guys liking the video, subscribing, and coming along for the ride for the weekly update. So again, I thank you guys very much for that. I also need to move on to my writing. So if you're only here for reading, you can click off the video. We're good. Please, again, comment down below what you're currently reading. I'm going to move on to some writing updates for people who are following along with that journey. I hit over 100,000 words, which I posted yesterday, but I know I was somewhere around 95 or 96 on this last update, so I'm a little behind on the word count per day, but that comes with traveling and visiting, girlfriend's family. It's busy, and simply didn't make time for it, and I got home. I was thinking about it the whole trip, obviously. But book two's first draft is a little over 100,000 words right now. We're hitting, it's definitely the 50% mark of the story in terms of the follow-on from part one. Part one got in the hands of beta readers, and one of them got back with me with feedback, which I would actually love to share be a little bit of a shill for myself really quick, just because it was so, when you're writing and you're working on something, you just don't know. And then you don't know if what you're doing is any good. You just have no idea. And it's one of those things where it's very interesting to be able to get feedback, especially in a place where you just don't know. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna read the feedback that I got initially. I really enjoyed the story. It was so good. I can say I might have cried a few times, and I enjoyed writing the report too. She wrote me this great report, very extensive, going through my story. It was awesome to read. I hope you enjoy reading the report as much as I loved writing it. I tried to send it before the turnaround time because I didn't like dropping the story the moment I started reading it, and then I finished too quickly even while I was trying to make it last. And that was just seeing that email, like without having read the report, it was one of the most like humbling experiences I've had so far on this journey, and I've been doing it over a year now, and it was just absolutely humbling to see that from a beta reader who I don't know. Yes, I will say that I did pay her for this because I paid several beta readers, and then there are some who are kind enough to do it on their free time who are also doing it. But it's just one of those things, like I needed to get my book into the hands of people to get feedback to make sure I can make it as good as possible. And there are definitely some constructive criticism points that I received, which I'm looking forward to diving back into my first book, because it's supposed to come out next year. And I'm making the adjustments and changes that I need to make, or deciding on what changes I need to make. They also said, I think this is the longest report I've written in a while, and I had a fun time writing it and reading the story. I love the characters for how unique they are. I like the plot. How could I not say anything about the plot? The plot is so good, way too good, well thought out and carefully written. The pacing is really good, and I'll save this for the second time. The language used, superb, perfect. Sharing this feels weird. I probably should keep that to myself. F it. I'll put it out there. I appreciate, it was an interesting experience receiving feedback like that at all. And of course, I'm taking it with a grain of salt because that's one person's opinion. But it's one of the only people that so far has read the work that I put in. And it's a super humbling experience to get feedback. I'll probably keep the rest of it to myself, having just shared that with you guys and seeing how it feels. Strange, very strange. But it's just one of those things that getting me more excited, and it's making the journey, but it's not making it worth it. Like either way, I'm doing this. It's like something I love doing, and having only recently discovered that, it's honestly a fascinating journey. It's interesting figuring out process. It's interesting figuring all of that out. I went with Ryan Cahill's cover artist. I decided to go with because I was looking at his work. I was actually trying to hunt him down for a while. And when I found him, I was really excited. And so he's going to be, his name is Stuart Bach, I think, Stuart Bach. He's going to be doing my cover design, and I already sent over the brief of kind of what I'm looking for, and that's expected to start in October. So by the new year, we'll have kind of an update of what that's going to look like. And I'll be sure to share it with you guys as soon as I know for book one. And then in the meantime, book two is still being drafted. The goal is to have that draft done, the first draft done, by the time book one is in the hands of the developmental editor in December. So yeah, that's the updates. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry it was long-winded. If it was long-winded, again, I'm very grateful for everybody tuning along, sticking to the end of the video. I'll see you on Town Hall over at Talking Story. And otherwise, guys, let me know your reads. Let me know your writes. Talk later.